Think about the last time you followed a GPS to a new location. If your phone died halfway there, you likely wouldn't know the route. We stopped building mental maps because the machine gave us perfect directions. Right now, AI is running that exact same experiment on how we think. This happens through cognitive offloading. When we shift a mental task, like remembering a route or weighing a complex decision, onto an external tool, the neural pathways we usually rely on for problem solving literally weaken from disuse. This chart summarizes research showing a direct negative correlation between how often people use AI and their critical thinking scores. As confidence in AI increases, cognitive effort drops. By outsourcing the reasoning process entirely, the skill quietly atrophies. The fix is not to unplug and stop using AI. Instead, you change your posture. You stop acting as a passenger and start acting as an editor-in-chief, setting the direction yourself and letting the tool do the heavy lifting. To execute this editor-in-chief workflow, you need a high-stakes problem, a 10-minute timer, a blank document, and a closed AI browser tab. Step 1 is the sanity draft. Before you ask a machine for answers, you spend 10 minutes dumping your own messy instincts, bullet points, and goals onto the page. Do not worry about complete sentences or formatting. It will look ugly, and it is supposed to. You are simply capturing your unassisted intent. If you skip this and open the chatbot first, you surrender that intent. Thousands of people ask these tools the same questions every day, and they get answers drawn from the exact same statistically safe middle. The sanity draft is your anchor. It proves a clear direction existed in your head before the algorithm tried to hand you one. Now you can open the AI tool. Paste in your rough notes, explain your goals, and ask it to generate a complete first draft. When it spits back a polished, well-formatted response, you have to treat it like work from a talented junior writer who cannot be left unsupervised. Do not accept it as a final product. Instead, force the tool to explain itself. Paste in this exact prompt. What core assumptions did you make to reach this conclusion, and where could they be wrong? The machine will immediately drop the authoritative tone. It will list the contextual leaps it took to fill in your blanks, revealing blind spots and generalized assumptions that don't actually fit your specific project. By interrogating the logic before you accept the text, you force yourself out of the passive role of a reader and back into the active role of an editor. You also have to counter what researchers call the sycophancy problem. Because AI models are trained on user feedback, they flatter weak ideas and agree with users roughly 50% more often than a human colleague would. Left to its own devices, AI is a bias mirror that tells you what you want to hear. You have to explicitly command the machine to create friction. Once you have a draft you actually like, deploy the devil's advocate. Tell the AI, tear this proposal apart from the perspective of a highly skeptical stakeholder. Find the holes. You want to aim this harsh, targeted critique at the ideas you are most confident in, because those are precisely the ideas you are least likely to question yourself. Triggering this pushback on purpose breaks the echo chamber. The AI stops validating your initial assumptions and becomes a highly capable sparring partner. Even with a strong, tested draft, you still have to navigate the compliance trap. A fabricated statistic delivered in a beautifully formatted numbered list naturally feels true to our brains. To counter this, you read the AI's final output twice for two completely separate jobs. The first pass evaluates the structure. You are checking if the tone is right, if the flow makes sense, and if the text hits your narrative goals. Then you start over at the top. This second pass is entirely about factual auditing. You are ignoring the flow and hunting exclusively for hallucinations, verifying every single claim, stat, and premise. Do not try to do both at the same time. If you review for flow and accuracy simultaneously, the confident packaging will convince you to skim right past the errors. Decoupling the evaluation of good writing from true facts is the only reliable way to catch the mistakes a machine will happily present as absolute certainty. When everyone in your industry relies on the same baseline AI output, their work starts to sound identical. But your document survived the sanity draft, logical interrogation, and a strict factual audit. It carries your regional context and your specific intuition. You used the tool for scale, but you retained control over the direction. Save the reverse engineer and devil's advocate prompts right now. Then block out 1 hour this week to try this workflow on a real project.
Be the editor-in-chief of your own thinking and protect your edge.